Hey everybody, welcome back. We have something particularly fun for you today. So the last reaction video I did, I actually asked people to send me videos to react to, and kind of in an unrelated way, somebody sent me a video, and now I'm going to react to it. Now, as you can guess, a guy like me kind of knows a lot of people, and believe it or not, I have a couple of friends that believe the Earth is flat. Full disclosure, I believe the Earth is round. But you know what? As a tentative representative of the round Earth community, I just want to say that I'm not going to discount your claims just because they sound crazy. Listen, there are political positions and different things that I hold that maybe not everyone would agree with. So I'm not going to dismiss you guys completely out of hand. So like the name says, this is going to be a reaction video, and we're going to be reacting to top 7 reasons I believe in a flat Earth 2016. There's more I could preface this with, but that's going to be good for now. Let's just dive right in.
And
now I encourage you to watch the actual video if you want to. The first 2 minutes or so basically is just a bunch of clips of stuff and aren't really arguments or debatable points, and thus I'm gonna skip them. Like, maybe there's stuff that would be cool to analyze or say about it, but this is a pretty long video and I'm trying to cut it down to something that is not insanely long.
The very word secrecy is repugnant in a free and open society.
So I guess we're going through these 7 points in reverse order. Alright, fine. The old Lord Acton quote about power corrupting. I wonder where this is gonna go. So if you have any experience with flat earthers, a whole lot of their arguments tend to revolve around this idea of discrediting NASA, which, hey, you can do that if you want. The fundamental thing to realize here is that if you disproved everything NASA ever put forward, if we could actually prove that NASA had never gone anywhere or was lying about everything, that would not prove the Earth is flat. If you could exhaustively disprove every single thing ever put out by NASA and prove it's fake, all you would have proven is that a government agency wasted a whole bunch of money. And you know what? I can imagine that. Wouldn't exactly be news. However, we see this image thrown around by the flat earth people all the time, so why not just get into this particular point? So the official explanation behind why these photos look different and certain parts of the Earth look bigger or whatever is because the camera that these were taken from, one was way closer to the Earth than the other. I'm gonna make a special graphic just to illustrate this point, so it's a little more easy to understand, not just for flat earthers, but everybody. So it's a lot easier if you just make this 2-dimensional, it's easier to visualize in your head. So we're gonna mark off 2 points on each of these circles. We're gonna use those 2 lines to represent like the width of a country or a continent or anything. I mean, it doesn't really matter. So the little dot to the right of each of these globes represents you looking at the globe. And the lines represent the furthest along on the globe that you can see from that position. With the space we marked, you could be close enough to the globe that you can only see that, which, you know, that's kind of what it is when you're on the surface of the globe. You can like only see from the height of your head off the ground. But if you're a little ways in space, maybe like almost everything is that country. What you have to do to see the whole thing is get really far away from it. In the second image, we've got the camera or the person or whatever it is being pretty far away from the Earth. And as you can see, they can see further along the edges of the Earth. It represents, you know, their view. It represents the total amount of the surface that can be viewed. And as you can see, proportionately, In the second one, the space between the lines is a lot smaller compared to what can be seen. And in the first one, the space is much bigger because you can see less of the total surface. Whew, graphical mouthful. Again, I don't even know where both of these images came from, but assuming they came from NASA, that's one possible explanation, and maybe there's more nuance to this. Like I said, you don't have to prove NASA is valid to prove the Earth is round or flat. So to summarize the whole rest of this segment, it's basically the idea people lie. Alright. I'm just gonna say, if NASA is indeed caught lying again and again, feel free to not believe them. Alright, fine. But this actually brings up a pretty good point, which is, so let's say there are these two positions, A and B. Some people say A is right, some people say B is right. Now if you find a bunch of the people that are defending A lying, does that necessarily mean B is right? Not necessarily. It could be that the illusion of there only being two choices is an illusion. So people react more strongly when they're trying to defend a lie, is basically what this is saying. Well, the truth of something is not determined by how people react to it. I don't necessarily want to point this out every time it's a thing in this video, but there's just a lot of emotional ooh, look at this old man with guns pointed at him. Don't you think the flat earth is right? Also, whatever site sells stock photos to this guy just made a killing.
The very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged.
Wow. It's just like the Matrix is an analogy for everything now. Also, that Nietzsche thing goes both ways. I would rather have questions that can't be answered than answers that can't be questioned. Isn't he answering questions here? Flat earthers are claiming to answer a question. If you're just asking questions that can't be answered, why would you call this video 7 reasons? Seriously, I'm ready for this video to start hitting me with some valid arguments. You know this is gonna be good.
The corner of Liberty and Washington. Lower Manhattan.
World Trade Center. I'm going to crash the plane into the World Trade Center.
Movies and television have become the #1 indoctrinating tool for the masses. So basically, we shouldn't believe what's in movies? Then why did you just show a whole bunch of stuff about 9/11? I guess it's not logically impossible that movies might be indoctrinating us with the truth.
When? Skylar, I was medicated. I mean, I could have said the world was flat.
You know what I think? I think you accidentally told the truth.
Learn to see? The cast of Breaking Bad knows that the Earth is flat? I don't really know what the claim is here. Good. It's proof time. So I think we're going to do another illustration for this one. Something that comes up a whole lot is the idea that the horizon looks like a flat line. Well, it's actually pretty simple. So we're gonna draw a big old circle. And when you're like super far away from the circle looks like a circle. But let's get really, really, really close to the circle. We're just gonna zoom in to the edge of the circle real close. And inevitably, if you get close enough to a circle on the edge, kind of looks like a line. Like going back to the video they just showed, like that person is still pretty close to the circle. Oh, but here's the good part. If the Earth was a flat disk like they claim, it would start to look round once you got higher. Or if they're claiming that the sun is actually this thing that's super close to the surface, and the reason it doesn't light up the entire Earth at once is because it only kind of like covers one little circle of light, that light would be a circle, and thus the only things you'd be able to see would be circular looking. Assumptions are not proofs. Hey, at least this is logical. There actually is irrefutable proof that the Earth is round, and I was gonna put it in this video, but I think I'm gonna save it for a second video just because the video I'm reacting to here is gigantic, and I kinda wanna just get through it, and then we'll do a little part 2 or something if people want me to. I don't know, maybe people will hate this.
Number 10. All the other planets and stars we've ever seen are round, and there's no reason to indicate that the Earth should be any different.
Okay, so if you missed that, the claim was that all the other planets that we can observe, and heavenly bodies as they call them, are round, and thus there's no logic within the known laws of physics that would allow something as big as the Earth to not be round, because the matter would just like eventually draw into a ball, which is the most equitable distribution given the structure of gravity. I shouldn't say structure of gravity, the effect that gravity tends to have on matter makes it equal and round. An assumption? Neither the pool balls and the pool table contradict known laws of physics. Now, if we want to say those laws of physics are wrong somehow, go for it. Let's talk about that. By the way, no valid proofs yet, so far they are doing the assuming. So this is the thing from before that I was talking about, where the sun is actually this tiny thing that floats above the Earth and circles around or whatever. There's a really important point to be made exactly here in this video. I'm going to replay the animation that they're showing here a few times. Look at Alaska. In this video, Alaska is getting regular day-night cycles. Alaska doesn't get regular day and night cycles. I've personally met people from Alaska. Alaska's not a myth, and they'll have weeks and weeks of darkness and then kind of normal-ish type stuff for like a tiny bit, and then they'll have weeks and weeks of daytime. That doesn't happen in this animation they're showing. Now hey, if they have some animation that explains how a floating little sun thing like would have strange effects in the polar like Arctic Circle regions, I'd love to see it, but I can't think of anything. The only thing that would explain super weird Arctic Circle day and night cycles would be the Earth being a sphere, or at least some kind of shape that's three-dimensional.
The Coriolis effect means freely moving things like cannonballs or hurricane winds are deflected to the right, but only if you're north of the equator. If you're south of the equator, they're deflected left.
So here they claimed that our tides on Earth, tides in our ocean, not the laundry detergent, they're claiming that that's a result of the moon, which comports with the official theory on tides, which is a new development. But the official theory is the moon's gravity affects the tides. So if we're gonna roll with known laws of gravity, you know, a thin disc-like world that's as wide as the Earth is would eventually like kind of smash together and become a ball because of gravity. That's like how gravity works.
Number 7. Triangles. If you walk 10,000 kilometers straight along the Earth's surface, turn 90 degrees to your right, walk 10,000 kilometers more, turn right again, and walk another 10,000 kilometers, you'll be back to where you started, having successfully made a triangle with 3 90-degree angles.
I'm not going to try to validate the argument the opposite video was making about this whole triangle thing. Like, I'm not exactly sure. I haven't really looked into that one. I'm not going to expound on that. What I want to point out here is that they just called this a straw man argument. I'm just going to read like the definition of a straw man argument, and we're going to see if this fits. A straw man is a common form of argument and is an informal fallacy based on giving the impression of refuting an opponent's argument while actually refuting an argument that was not advanced by your opponent. Basically, a straw man argument is where you don't like what your opponent is arguing, so you answer some other thing that like isn't what they said. What I would imagine is that the author of this video has been in like some Facebook groups that debated things, and they just saw this phrase used at some point. They never bothered to look up what it actually means. They just decided to kind of throw it in there to sound smarter. And plus they had that stock photo of the scarecrow from Wizard of Oz. They had to use it on something. So yeah, obviously you can't walk 10,000 miles in any particular direction in a straight line, probably anywhere on the Earth, and you definitely can't do it 3 times in a row. So that's why I wouldn't present this kind of an argument, like, because yes, geometrically that would make sense, but how are we going to like definitely, you know, experientially prove this? Like, how could I do this?
During a lunar eclipse, the shadow of the Earth on the moon is curved.
Alright, let's see where they claim this shadow on the moon comes from. So this is a really tasty moment. It's basically a moment where they say we shouldn't assume things at all, but it's followed by an assumption. They are saying we shouldn't assume anything after assuming something. Their flat Earth cosmology hasn't been proven yet. They've just been assuming it this whole time, and yeah, so let's not assume that then.
We know the Earth is round because we have photographic evidence.
Picture of the Earth. Some guy laughing. This is just one of those grade A arguments. Ancient illiterate people with no knowledge of science or personal rights or anything knew it was true. Notice they didn't say ancient people thought it was true. They knew it was true. We could make a pretty tasty little list of other things that ancient people knew. Ancient people knew that women shouldn't have any rights whatsoever. Ancient people knew that throwing their babies into volcanoes was going to appease the weather gods.
I could go on forever, baby. No. It's a lie.
I could go on forever, baby. People who understood the universe far greater than we do today. For thousands of years, people knew the earth to be flat and motionless. People who understood the universe far greater than today. There's just something about that seems wrong grammatically. So this is a little graphic showing the pyramids at Giza and then some stars in Orion's belt. Now, we can say that they understood as well as we do today, but we can't say they understood, like, this isn't an argument for why they understood greater than we do today. Like, where's the greater? Like, maybe as good, but like greater. And also you're saying universe and there's stars. Like, by universe I guess you mean a dome that's above the earth?
Here they are hurling through space on a molten rock at 67,000 miles an hour, and the only thing that keeps them from flying out of their shoes is their misplaced faith in gravity.
Their misplaced faith in gravity. Their misplaced faith in gravity.
Oh yes, this is a formal type of argument straight out of a philosophy book. Argument from Third Rock from the Sun. Textbook. There's no hiding from the truth. Don't people believe both sides on this argument? And if people believe both sides of this argument, at least one of them must be hiding from the truth. Now normally, like, I get that this is like some kind of colloquial thing and they're not meaning that as like an absolute statement, but I mean, come on, they picked this as the #1 reason why they believe the earth is flat, and it's like literally not true. Like this whole video is about people hiding from the truth. It's impossible not to see past all the lies, but how I personally see past lies is I consider valid arguments that contradict those lies. And you haven't presented any valid arguments. So this video ends with a grammatical error. It went by pretty fast, so here it is. So those were my top 7 reasons. What's yours? What is yours? Those were, what is?
And?
Well, let's see. If you guys like this video, maybe I will make a video that, where my reasons is in it. Yeah, like, if you guys like and share and subscribe, I'll show you what my reasons is. My top 7 reasons is. My top 7 reasons is video. Reasons is. So anyway, there's my response. Tell me in the comments what you think, all your ideas and stuff on this video, and also please share any videos that you want me to respond to. Maybe I'll pick one. Thanks for watching, likey, subscribey, do all that kind of stuff. I'll put my link to my Facebook on there, hit me up with some requests, and I'll see you guys later. Pow pow. Thanks for stopping by. Have a good day.